So don't you screw. You no fight against the ramen. You no fight against the whining. You no fight against the cigarette smoking. Yet you know this thing is cancer. Yet you know this thing is cancer. Rasta man know the truth, so you can't fool you. Rasta man know the truth, so you can't fool you. What was hidden from the wise and prudent shall reveal to the babe and suckling. What was hidden from the wise and prudent shall reveal to the babe and suckling. Tell me why do you fight against the Kaliman? Tell me why do you fight against the Kaliman? Yet you know it's the healing of the nation. Yet you know it's the healing of the nation. Tell me why do you fight against the Taliban? Tell me why do you fight against the Taliban? Yet you know it's the healing of the nation. Yes, you know it's the healing of the nation. Yeah, now.
Yes, brothers and sisters, yo. Now this is Jacob Miller singing in the background. Notice, I have no right to this music. I hope you don't block my video. Because I'll just have to do it again. It's the healing of the nation. Yes, them know, it's the healing. Murder!
Tell me why do you fight against the Taliban? Tell me why do you fight against the Taliban? Yet you know it's the healing of the nation.
Yes. Well, this is morning time, so good morning. And if you are somewhere where it is night, well, good night or good evening, depends on where you are. Whenever you are looking at that video, good whatever time of the day it is. Now, as you can see on my screen, I'm talking about healing of the nation versus destruction of the nation. Okay. Now, in this aspect, what I'm referring to is the whole dialogue that is going on around the world now with relation to the legalization and decriminalization of marijuana. First of all, let me say this. Marijuana wasn't criminalized because of crime. Marijuana was not made illegal because of illegal activities that were happening with marijuana. Okay? Marijuana was made illegal because of one single person's need, okay, to stay in a job. Okay, if you do your research, you will know, because before marijuana was made illegal, there was what you call the alcohol war, rum and moonshine and everything, and all that happened in the US. Okay, and after they made alcohol legal, where the government could tax it and basically control how the whole thing with alcohol go. They made it legal. The guy who was, which is a white guy, who was actually spearheading this war against moonshine and alcohol and stuff, he realized that he is without a job. So he decided that he will have to find some ways and means to continue his fight against something. But then the black people, the Mexicans and Indians and people like that were basically smoking the marijuana. Doctors were prescribing the marijuana for sicknesses and stuff like that. And there wasn't any tax happening with this marijuana. It was like somebody tell you go out there and get some black sage and drink. It's like you go to the doctor and the doctor say, you know what, you need some Corelli bush to drink and you'll be fine. Now, if that becoming popular, then the evil people, the people with this demonic force within them that have no love for nature, they will make it illegal also, because they need to get some money out of it, because only money those people think about. So that is what happened to marijuana. Marijuana wasn't criminalized because of any evil or anything like that. Marijuana was always a medicine. Whether people smoke it for different reasons, it was always a medicine. Always a medicine. Okay? It was always something you can use for social activity, for relaxation, for pain, whatever. And the list goes on and on and on. Okay? Now, fast forward a little bit. These days, right? Everybody is talking about decriminalizing marijuana, making marijuana legal. But then the way they want to go about doing it is being able to control it. Now, you remember when they were on this so-called drug war? They're talking about they want to get rid of the controlled substances. And I used to always wonder, up to this now, I'm wondering about how these drugs are controlled substances. And basically, it was not controlled by anybody. Now it will be controlled substances because they want to make it legal and they would control the activities of the marijuana. Okay. Now, when I hear certain people talking about making marijuana legal these days, I just be like, what? It look as though the world coming to an end, because these people back in the day would have never said things like that. And I realize that our minds are being controlled, our activities are being controlled based on how foreign powers think and how they function. Like if they sneeze, we catch a little flu. Sometimes it just take a little while before they give us here, but we just get it. You understand? By ourselves here, I doubt in Grenada here people would have just start talking about legalizing marijuana, because we have to wait. We have to get a kickstart from our former slave masters to do stuff. Why do they have to kickstart us, jumpstart us? You understand? We're not supposed to be like that, because we lived within it and we know what happens when people smoke marijuana and everything like that. People don't go kill people after they smoke marijuana. People don't go crashing vehicles after they smoke marijuana. The police doesn't have a marijuana detection device to detect if you crash with your vehicle when you smoke, if you whether you smoke marijuana or whatever. You don't do that. They have a detection device to test if you drink rum. But then rum is the worst thing basically, but it is being mass produced and mass sell and mass used. Nobody is trying to make it illegal or trying to control it because they're getting taxed from it. They don't care. You understand? Now the natural tree, which is just a tree like a peace tree, a tree like a corail tree, a tree like a mango tree, and stuff like that. A tree that grows naturally from the earth. You understand? That certain people use because certain people use it, they make it illegal. Okay. Now, after it's been legal from since about 1941 or so, come right on up to this blessed day now, they decide, 1941, before that, I think, after the alcohol war ended, right? Now, they want to make it legal, but they want to make it with conditions that maybe only certain people with a certain license maybe could use it, maybe could grow it and stuff like that. That is just total foolishness, and we knows that. All the people have to do just leave it alone. Just you want to make it watch. We see not we're not looking at you what you do with your weed or whatever it is. Whether you want to plant it, whether you want to grow it, just cut all this foolishness and just leave it alone. That's all they gotta do. But they have to come up with all different kind of reasons, trying to prove that it could be dangerous if it is in the wrong hands and all foolishness like that. That is not making any sense. I will tell you something though. I could remember as a youth growing up, we smoking weed and stuff like that. But then, just around those time, there used to be a lot of fighting and stuff like that. Really fighting, brethren fighting against brethren, village against village. They used to have that going on. Okay. Now, when we start experiencing marijuana in our communities and people start smoking marijuana, the whole vibes, the whole atmosphere just changed. People don't want to fight no more. People just want to share the joint. People want to live in peace. People want to be like, okay, well, it's love. They even came up with the talk just to share. That is charity. That is love. Weed. You pass the weed and you smoke it, and everybody be just like on a love scene, a togetherness thing. But then that was short lived because as a result of that, we in Grenada, I'm telling you about our experiences. We had what you call a revolution here, okay, and then it was togetherness. People used to say that even the prime minister used to smoke his weed and everything, but he used to smoke a lot of cigarette. Remember? No, it was a one love thing. Basically, it was trying to get the people together, you know, in a as one. That is what we do. It heal the nation up to a certain level because you scarcely used to have fight. People was more conscious. People going into the land, they walking, they're doing the agriculture. Everything was bouncing right. You understand what I'm saying? Everything was correct. But then after the revolution get on back in 1983, I'm talking about our experience in Grenada here. After that happened, then what seems to introduce itself to our community is crack cocaine, and that is the destruction of a nation. As a matter of fact, this crack cocaine destroyed people. You could still see the effect of crack cocaine among certain elder people in our country. It's just like the enemy came and they just crack in the nation. As a result of that, you find that people start drinking a lot of alcohol. Plenty rum start taking place. A man who had a natty dread on his head, back in the day, there was a certain kind of respect. Now, everybody just want to just put any kind of thing on their head now. eat all kind of nasty stuff, drink all kind of nasty stuff, and so they going. You understand? That's the destruction of maybe a whole generation of people. Okay, that's the difference between when the weed come. Because before the weed there was rum drinking, and people were going to party with hatchet and everything. After weed came, people start living in love. Then after when the wicked see that we start to get together, that scared them. So they decide, well, they'll set up a plan and they'll come against us, which they actually did. And when they did, the revolution was turned back, and then they introduced drug cocaine. Right now, we hardly could catch ourselves because of what happened. A lot of our strong men and women went down in the cracks because of the drug that was unleashed on our society. Now, for people who live through that and never get involved in this cocaine and all this stuff, kudos. You understand? There is a time when it becomes so bad that people had to stop smoke weed because people start mixing weed with cocaine and crack. So you don't trust. So here we're going down. You just call it off one time. You understand? You don't really want to grow it because the police is there. Now the slave masters have the police there to make sure that you don't grow it, you don't grow it local, nothing of the sort. So this was the difference between a healing of the nation versus the destruction of our nation. So now, coming back up a little bit, everybody's talking about decriminalizing it. And I'm asking myself, why all this fuss? You know, just decide and tell people to go ahead doing their thing. You understand? It's as simple as that. Because I will tell you this though. People know, and I don't know how they decide to go about doing this thing. Maybe they want to reintroduce people into smoking a lot of weed. Because the truth of the matter is, a whole bunch of our youths who we have here now, those youths don't smoke no marijuana. No, they don't. They don't smoke no weed or anything of the sort. You know, they don't smoke weed and thing. A lot of our youth, when you look at them right now, they don't smoke anything like any weed or anything. They will drink beer. These children will drink a set of energy drink. I don't know why they are doing that at this young age. Or this energy drink. Come on, that is what they do. They drink rum. You understand? But most of them don't really smoke marijuana. Then I realized that there is a growth in cigarette smoking once again. Now I'm asking myself, why cigarette is not being banned? They will tell you that well, the weed is for medicinal purposes. It's not good to smoke. But then they put in containers of cigarette to sell for the people. So why is it that they don't cut off the cigarettes, all the cigarettes and all this foolishness they have? Cut it off. You know, so they're not cutting it off, but they want to control a tree that you could grow here. And you understand what I'm saying? That is not making much sense. You know, and when you consider what is happening, you know, you're considering that when the police stop you when you're crashing an accident, he don't asking you if you smoke weed. He want to know if you drink rum because rum causes the destruction. You understand? That is common sense. You know, you don't have to go to school to study that. It means that the rum is worse than weed. Smoking weed or drinking weed or eating weed or whatever you want to do. You see? But then there is something that I observe usually happens in our community. You see, it happened with the weed. And I will have to mention that again because I do mention that in video. I consider the cane situation in this country where people decide that a couple of years ago that they don't want to have cane farmers in Grenada again because the fact that they control the fact that they control the sugar factory or the rum factory, whatever they call it, they decide that they will not have local cane farmers. So to make their sugar, to make their rum, they would take the molasses from Guyana, which they did. As a result of that, we had no cane farmers here. So cane lands just went basically at that time for a number of years to waste. I don't know who gave them this idea, but I'll tell you something. They stopped make sugar, so only rum. Rum have money. Only money they think about. They have make a lot of rum all over the place, advertising rum all over the place. We selling rum all over the world, right? And a lot of cane farmers without a job. They have to get other employments. But then fast forward to now, couple years ago, you get cane farmers from white people come from a different country and come into this country. Now they take over the cane industry. They are here making their rum and the whiskey, whatever they to export in their country and their region. Okay? Now the question I'm asking, why is it that we couldn't do that? Now they're in control of the cane, which actually the cane belongs to us. Our ancestors worked in the cane field as slaves. We had people who self-employed within the cane industry, as employers, and at the same time, so at the end of the day, it was taken from us. No, because somebody maybe give somebody some idea that that cane is not working, so they take it from us. There is a other thing that will happen. People are slack with the cocoa we have here. People are slack with the banana. Don't surprise if a year or two or sometime, if we're not careful, you get somebody who saw the need for bananas in Europe or wheresoever to make whatever. They must be doing all the research and sending people here to check the land and see if we're good. Then they'll come here and then buy a whole lot of lands, and the next thing you hear, banana is not ours. Eventually, if we are not careful, we'll lose everything. It's as simple as that. Now, so back to the marijuana situation. That is how I am looking at that scenario, because there wasn't any reason. The people who made marijuana illegal, they did it under false pretense. You understand? Under false declarations. They lied. You see? They lied. And if we here and we don't research and get into the lie, we will be following their lies all the way through until they decide to make something that we get discover illegal again, to suit them, so that when they're ready and they did all the research and everything and they find out, well, this could work for them and stuff like that, then they come and they make it legal. But then they will have their policing in the Caribbean, in our community, which is our same people. Just like in the slave days, in the slavery days, they had black people beating black people. It's the same thing they would have our people policing our people, just like in the days of slavery, to make sure that we don't step outside the limit they give us. You understand what I'm saying? So we have to be careful. You understand? Mind you, we have an international airport. I heard somebody talking about when they'll grow their weed and then they'll send their weed so people will do all the research. Man, watch, that is nonsense. You understand? Just make the thing legal and leave it like that. If there is a situation where you decide that we want to do something with it, then we do something with it. Weed by itself is natural. Weed by itself is natural medicine. How you do it. But the minute time you want to pass it through all this, chemicalize it, watch, you're making a drug. You're making a drug that will be not so good for people. Your body wasn't designed for this thing. If you deal with it naturally, whether you want to drink it or whatever it is, I'm not talking about smoking it, because people always have to jump up about smoking this, but everybody's smoking cigarette. Make smoking illegal as far as I'm concerned. So the thing about it is that whether I want to boil it, whether I want to do whatever, you have to mix other trees with it, or that, you could do that naturally and heal the nation. You understand what I'm saying? But when you're talking about you want to grow it here, but then you want to send it for your enemies, I should say. I like to call them your enemies, you know. Your enemies to do research and do everything and then send back something for you, like what they used to do with the cocoa. They take your cocoa cheaply and then they send back expensive Milo for you. We have to do better than that. You know, as a matter of fact, we down here wasn't supposed to be tagging along. We wasn't supposed to be tagging along behind America and other places in relation to legalizing the weed. No, we should not have been like that. What we should have been spearheading that activity and make it legal. I could guarantee you. I don't know what most people fear. I don't know, maybe the authorities living in a shameful way, like most governments do. So they're scared that if they make it legal, they might, and the police see somebody smoking a weed and they cannot do anything about it, then they will feel disrespected. That is foolish. You understand? Because I'm sure, I mean, police police must be smoking weed too. They are not perfect. They are normal Grenadian people. They're smoking weed. I can remember as a child, I went in a parade in town, and a police and decided smoking. A lot of years now, and decided smoking weed. You understand? They smoking in weed and a joint. That's the first time I see a police smoke weed in uniform. So the truth of the matter is, you understand? We don't. I don't see why we have to go through all these hoops to legalize that tree. I don't smoke. No. You understand? But that doesn't mean that he doesn't have people who doesn't smoke the weed. You hearing testimony of people who smoke weed for pain, whether it is cancer pain, wherever they do. For pleasure, sometimes you're tired, you just want to chill, your social activities, you smoke something. That is, people have different uses for this thing. You understand? So just make it illegal and just let the people know the whole idea of making this thing illegal in the first place is just total crap. It made no sense. You know, out of one man selfishness, you understand? Do your research. One single person selfishness, affect the whole world in this negative way. Why we have to go through that? That is witchcraft. And then people will always smoke weed because they go rebel against this stupidity. But our people who consider themselves to be educated, I getting to realize that your education did nothing to free your mind. You are still enslaved. You are enslaved by even by the education they give you, by the doctrines they give you. You are still enslaved by that. You could go brandishing your education to your local people and telling people, well, yes, well, you're educated and you feel that you're all that. No. You understand? You have to always rebel against that system that was designed to keep you down. And if you cannot see that, then I'm sorry for you. It's as simple as that. You know, America and those places always have a problem when a strong man, strong black man, or anybody for that matter, who do things on their own. They always call them is a dictator, a strong man thing. They make it sound like if being strong, being able to make the big decisions, you know, it's like you have to be a dictator, something have to wrong with you. Hence the reason you find they kill people like Gaddafi, they kill people like Saddam Hussein, they kill people like Ben Laden, they kill people, all these kind of people they're just killing, they're killing all kind of people like Maurice Bishop and all these people. Because those people, they basically think for themselves. And they don't think according to how America wants them to think. So once you are not thinking according to how America and their policies want you to think, you become a terrorist, you become a strong man, you become a dictator, you become whatever. They will invent names for you. That is what these people do. But in small like how we are, We have to show them that we are people too, and we're not gonna be like living in their backyard, because enough of our leaders after the revolution bring us right back in the backyard, way down by the Callaloo patch of America, in their backyard. You understand? Because we like to beg a lot. You understand? Anything they say goes, and they don't give you nothing. You understand? So they bring us right back in the backyard. You understand? We make 3 steps forward, right? So other people come, they bring you 10 back. So we have to make these big decisions. We should not appear weak to these people. Look them in their face and make your decisions. You know, why do we have to sit down and mama guy ourselves about um, medicine, and then we have to bring we weed for them to research and do all kind of? Why we have to go through that? Eh? Why do we have to go through this? Just wake up one day, go in your parliament, do whatever it is, and say, you know what, we stamping this thing off our laws. This thing is not illegal. Simple. But just like how you can't smoke in a bus and you're not smoking in public, there is a law, you're not smoking in public. Whether a cigarette, whatever it is, you're not smoking. Pass the laws. You control one time. You understand? If you want to export any goods, you're going through the same procedure you use to export breadfruit. To the laws. Just leave it open so let the people do their thing and self-employing itself. You can't control all this thing. The whole idea of weed in our territory is uncontrollable. You understand? So don't try to make people life hard for them. Just release this foolishness all you have over it. It's as simple as that. You know? Because coming and telling you about the smoking and it is nonsense. And we know that. It is foolishness. You go in town and see how much cigarette pack up in the place down there, people smoking. And see how much rum people drinking. And crashing, running off road, all kind of thing. Because they drink a too rum. Study that. Try to control that. How the people drink, how they smoke, all this nonsense. Study that. It's as simple as that. We have to do better than, and I can't understand how we at this stage with all this information happening on the face of the earth, all this information, it hardly have people without an internet. Everybody face down in a phone, internet, in what you all be doing? People shaking a salon? Then you all stupid. Because it have a lot of information online. You understand? That you could research and get to know anything you want to know. So how with all this information right before you, you're still stupid? Yes, I have to say that the scripture say my people are sottish. That means you're stupid. And you don't think because the scripture say you don't consider. So I'm not saying that in any malicious way. I'm just letting you know. Based on how we function, that is how we are looked at. You understand? We don't have to go through all these hoops. The Most High create this tree for a purpose. You understand? He created this tree. Everything the Most High created is for a purpose. But not because we as black people, as Mexican, as Indian discover the purpose. You understand? They don't have the right to that purpose because what they don't control, what they cannot, what they didn't discover, they try to take it or destroy it. What they don't have, they try to destroy it. Most of them like that. Okay? So because of that, you find that we are at a disadvantage because of these people's wickedness and the ego and everything. So all I'm saying, we have to step out of that foolish zone. Step out and live our life the way we should be living, not according to other nations' expectations, how they want us to live. We have to live and refuse to be what they want us to be. Brothers and sisters, I would like people, and the people that are responsible, are the people that have the authority to make this marijuana legal, just make it legal. Free. In the name of Yah, free. Okay? People see that even the glaucoma is cured, was cured by the weed. Just leave it. Don't keep down the people, don't oppress the people. Maybe if it wasn't made illegal, marijuana might have played a greater part in our community. Maybe we may not have people drinking all this rum and all this destruction. You understand? But the wicked people always seems to be doing something that wasn't intended by the Most High. These demons, you are always doing these kind of things because doctors used to be prescribing, as I said earlier, they used to be prescribing. You go to the doctor, tell the doctor you have a certain pain here or there, something happened, something with your stomach. The doctor write like a prescription, go get some weed, eat that. Next thing you know, you're good to go. You know, I'm not aware doctors tell people to smoke that. But I know if you do your research, you will realize that doctors used to prescribe this weed for people. You understand? So, I'll tell you what. People have a saying, it doesn't matter what, you could never stop 6 rounds. It's going. So, peace and love, brethren and sisters. I hope the Most High bless and keep you. And I hope we continue fighting to escape the clutches of these wicked people. To escape the clutches of their system. That system that they have over us like a yoke. You know, like a hard yoke. I pray that we could see the need. Don't depend too much on the education they give you, but actually see things the way you should see it and escape that yoke, because trust me, it is killing our people. Peace.
No.